Hey everyone, Kirky here, bringing you another Star Savior video. In this video, we're going to talk about basically a beginner's guide for day one. So, if you're just starting Star Saviors, there is a right way to play day one, and a way that will slow you down big time. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly what you should be doing so you can progress fast and not waste time. So, just in case you missed it, Star Saviors is a mix of turn-based RPG, idle progression, and a completely separate character training system, so there are a lot of systems thrown at you early. The key is understanding what actually matters day one and what you can ignore for now. So the most important thing you can do when you start is push Operation, which is right over here. It's basically the main story of the game. The further you progress in Operation, the more game modes unlock, the more content becomes available, and the better your overall progression becomes. If you take nothing else from this video, focus on pushing Operation as far as you possibly can. Alright, second piece of advice for this beginner's guide is use your summons. Unlike a lot of gacha games, Star Saviors is actually very, very generous with summons. You come right over here to Observation. You're not really wasting pulls by using them early. In fact, you should be using them. Also, this game only requires the base unit plus 3 duplicates, which is way less than most gacha games. So building characters is much more accessible. Now, yes, some units are better than others. So if you want to optimize, check out my reroll guide and my reroll target guide for the best targets to aim for. Or check out the tier list for a total list of where all of the units where the units stand. Next piece of advice: early team building is simple, but it's very important. You want a strong DPS, a frontline tank or a character to soak up the damage, a support unit, and then kind of a flex slot. I honestly, I'd go with two DPS. Depending on which characters you use, you can actually go 3 DPS because some of these characters are actually built as hybrids, and we'll get into that in another video when we do a video on the journey, where you can actually fine-tune like your character's niche. So using a proper team setup will carry you much further than just throwing random strong units together. And if you want to take it further, use the tier list to maximize your progression. Alright, the next piece of advice for beginners, this is where a lot of players get confused. Arcana is not part of your main combat progression. It's tied to a separate system called Journey. As soon as you unlock Journey, do at least one full run. What happens is after you do a full run on manual, it allows you to basically auto progression for your other characters. Alright? And your Arcana is tied directly into it. I'm not going to do a full guide on here for this. I just want to show you because the Arcana directly impacts your stat growth, passive abilities, and overall character strength. And if you ignore this system early, you're going to fall behind pretty quickly. So we're just going to pick a random one. Now in here you see it says strength +2, potential gain +5, and there's a bunch of other stats. When you go through the journey system, it's a full-blown story mode. So if you go through and actually read the story and everything, it's probably going to take you, it could take you up to an hour. I skip all the story for this, and when you get there, you'll understand why. But I want to go over here real quick and show you one thing real quick that I'm talking about. Obviously, you have your gear and other things which will open up, but this right here, the Stellar Archive, oh man, what was the other game that came out? Chaos Zero Nightmare. This looks like it was almost taken directly from Chaos Zero Nightmare, which is probably one of the better, if not best, progression systems. So you go through Journey, and once you complete Journey, your character gets stats. The letter is just the rating, like acts as a Savior's attack, higher strength increases Savior's attack, and these are the passive abilities I'm talking about. Increases attack by 8%, increases speed by 8, etc., etc. So as soon as you open up Journey, I'll do this real quick. I'm not trying to make this video too long. But this is important. This journey section is probably where most of the people are going to get confused. When you go to journey, once you complete, you have to do it manual again on each mode. Well, let's say I want to do Lacey. You auto equip 2 other stellar archives, and then you equip your arcanas. And as you can see up here, with my Arcana equipped, the journey start effects, it shows you what each character gets depending on who's doing it, unique effects, and the different events in there. I'm going to be honest with you, this is a really, really, really fun piece of content, but you're not going to want to do it on manual for each character. Alright? So anyway, moving on. This game rewards you a lot for just playing, so make sure you claim your idle rewards, complete daily missions, and check all available events. There are a ton of event quests, and knocking these out early gives you a huge boost. Just to put it into perspective, and please don't get scared if you haven't played this game yet, but this is all of the opening stuff for the game. Alright, it's like this one right here is going to be your bread and butter. This is what gives you most of your gear selection boxes and resources. And this is just by going through and doing the operation. But like when I tell you there's a lot of... I'm going to go through this in another video. But there's a lot of rewards. You will feel rewarded and you will feel the progression. Which brings me to the next point. There's a lot going on when you first start. Do not get overwhelmed. Menus, systems, events, upgrades can all feel like too much. But honestly, click through everything just once, get a general understanding, and it will all start to make sense quickly. The game looks complicated at first, but it's actually pretty intuitive once you get into it. So if you follow these steps, you're gonna set your account up for success right from day one. Star Savior rewards progression, and if you play it right early, you're going to feel that immediately. Next up, we'll be covering videos for re-rolling, best units to go for, etc., etc. So anyway, like, comment, subscribe. Peace.